History class never told you this. From banana Twinkies to photos on the moon. Welcome to 50 history facts they don't teach in school. When Twinkies were first created in 1930, they were actually banana-flavored. However, due to banana shortage during World War II, the flavor was switched to vanilla, which became the signature taste we know and love today. The Cobra, a powerful Italian crime syndicate from Naples, established operations in New York City in the early 1900s, competing with the Sicilian Mafia for control over illegal activities. The Eiffel Tower has 72 names of French scientists, engineers, and mathematicians engraved beneath its first balcony. Gustave Eiffel added them to honor their contributions. Originally painted gold, the engravings were painted over in the 20th century. However, it has since been restored to their original color. In 1961, Soviet Dr. Leonid Rogozov was stranded in Antarctica with appendicitis. With no surgeon available, he performed his own appendectomy using only local anesthesia, a true testament to bravery and skill in extreme conditions. Queen Elizabeth II didn't need a passport to travel. Since British passports were issued in her name, she didn't have to carry one herself. However, other royal family members still needed passports like everyone else when traveling abroad. In 1992, a storm spilled 28,800 rubber bath toys into the ocean. Scientists tracked them for years as they floated worldwide, helping to study ocean currents. Some reached Alaska in 1992, while others drifted to Europe over a decade later. Before becoming the internet giant we know, Google was originally named Backrub. This name came from its function of analyzing backlinks on websites. Later, it was renamed Google, inspired by the term Google, meaning large numbers. In 1972, Apollo 16 astronaut Charles Duke left a special photo on the moon. It shows him with his wife and 2 sons. The photo still remains there today, a lasting reminder of his historic journey to the lunar surface. The Peel P50, made between 1962 and 1965, set the Guinness World Record in 2010 as the smallest production car ever made. In 2012, the longest time between the birth of twins was 87 days. Amy was born prematurely at 23 weeks and 6 days, while Kate stayed in the womb under careful monitoring and was born later, making medical history. Super glue was invented by Dr. Harry Coover in 1942 while working on clear plastic for gun sights during World War II. It wasn't used until 1958 when its strong sticky power was noticed, and it was sold as super glue in 1963. In the Olympic Games opening ceremony, Greece always enters the stadium first, as a tribute to its role as the birthplace of the Olympics. The host nation enters last, while all other countries march in alphabetical order based on the host nation's language. The Empire State Building is so massive it has its own zip code, 10118. With over 100 floors and thousands of offices, it functions like a mini-city inside New York City, full of activity, businesses, and history. In a 94-year history of the Oscars, only one person named Oscar has ever won. Oscar Hammerstein II took home the award for Best Original Song in both 1942 and 1946, making him the only Oscar to win an Oscar. Leonardo da Vinci was long believed to be left-handed, but experts found he was ambidextrous. A study showed he could paint and write with both hands, as seen in his early work Landscape, which has inscriptions written in opposite directions. Contrary to popular belief, the Great Wall of China is not visible from space with the naked eye. Though it's long and massive, it blends into the surrounding environment, making it difficult to see without help from technology. Samsung didn't start with phones or TVs. It began in 1938 as a small trading company in Korea, selling fish, noodles, and groceries. Over time, it grew into one of the world's biggest tech giants, creating the devices we use today. Master Sergeant Roy Benavidez was awarded the Medal of Honor for his heroic actions in Vietnam. Despite being hit by an explosive, shot multiple times, and stabbed, suffering 37 major wounds, he managed to rescue 12 of his fellow soldiers. The internet began in the 1960s with ARPANET, funded by the U.S. Department of Defense to connect computers for military use. Over the years, the internet evolved, and Tim Berners-Lee's creation of the World Wide Web in 1989 changed everything. The Sanoa Proc, a top Malaysian jungle unit, was formed in 1956 using the Orang Asli's expert tracking skills. Feared by rebels, they mixed survival skills with psychological tactics, making them one of the world's most unique special forces. In 1948, Alan Turing tried out for the British Olympic marathon team, but was slowed by an injury. Despite this, his time was just 11 minutes behind Thomas Richard's Olympic silver medal winning run of 2 hours and 35 minutes. Albert Einstein is an anagram for 10 elite brains. It seems fitting for one of history's greatest minds. His name even unintentionally reflects his genius in a fun, scrambled way. A true brainiac from start to finish. In 2024, Richard Plaud set the record for the tallest matchstick Eiffel Tower at 23.6 feet, using over 700,000 matchsticks. Initially disqualified by Guinness for using headless matches, he was later reinstated and officially recognized for his achievement. Marie Curie was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize, receiving the Physics Award in 1903. She became the first person to win 2 Nobel Prizes when she was honored with the Chemistry Prize in 1911, making her the only individual to receive Nobel Prizes in 2 different scientific fields. The first alarm clock, invented in 1787, was designed specifically for farmers. It only rang at 4 a.m., helping them wake up early for work. This clock reflected the agricultural needs of that time in history. George C. Parker, a notorious American con man, repeatedly sold the Brooklyn Bridge to unsuspecting buyers. His scams targeted immigrants, convincing them they could control bridge access. Police often intervened, removing victims attempting to set up toll booths. A rare 16th century book in the National Library of Sweden features an ingenious 6-fold dos-a-dos binding, allowing 6 separate books to be conjoined into one. With 6 precisely placed clasps, each book can be read individually, showcasing a remarkable feat of historical bookbinding. Oscar, nicknamed Unsinkable Sam, a cat, survived 3 different World War II shipwrecks. He was aboard the German battleship Bismarck, British destroyer HMS Cossack, and aircraft carrier HMS Ark Royal, all of which sank. His survival became legendary, symbolizing resilience during times of hardship. Beeple's Everydays. The first 5,000 days is the most expensive NFT ever sold, fetching $69.3 million at Christie's in 2021. This digital collage of 5,000 images marked a historic moment in the rise of blockchain-based art. A fumi-e, meaning stepping on picture, was an image of Jesus or Mary used by the Tokugawa shogunate in Japan. Suspected Christians were forced to step on it to prove they were not part of the outlawed religion or face torture or death. Gmail was launched on April 1st, 2004, which led many people to think it was just an April Fool's joke. But it turned out to be real, and it's now one of the world's most popular email services. The Saluki is one of the oldest dog breeds, dating back to 7000 BC. Revered in ancient Egypt, these graceful hounds were considered royal dogs of pharaohs and were frequently depicted in Egyptian art as symbols of nobility and loyalty. In 1989, a man bought a $4 painting at a flea market, only to discover an original 1776 copy of the Declaration of Independence hidden behind it. The rare document later sold at auction for over $2 million. In 1946, Stella Pagines set a Guinness World Record by typing 216 words in 1 minute using an IBM electric typewriter. Her amazing speed required incredible hand-eye coordination and mental focus, showcasing a remarkable level of typing skill. In 2006, a Wikipedia prank named the Pringles mascot Julius Pringles. Surprisingly, after Kellogg's acquired the brand, they embraced the joke, making Julius Pringle an official name in marketing materials, turning an internet myth into brand history. The Statue of Liberty is widely recognized, but its official name is actually Liberty Enlightening the World. This title reflects its purpose, to symbolize liberty and enlightenment, welcoming people to the United States as a beacon of freedom. Abraham Lincoln's lost speech was given at the Bloomington Convention on May 29, 1856. It's called Lost because reporters were so interested in it they forgot to take notes. The speech is believed to have strongly opposed slavery. The Cobra effect started in British India when the government paid people for dead cobras. To earn more money, people bred cobras. When the reward stopped, they released the cobras into the wild, making the problem worse instead of fixing it. In February 2025, Trinidad and Tobago altered their coat of arms to remove Columbus's sailing ships, replacing them with a national musical instrument, the steel pan drum, as part of an effort to eliminate colonial vestiges. In May 2021, Halima Cissé from Mali made history by giving birth to the world's only surviving non-euplets, 5 girls and 4 boys. Born at 30 weeks via C-section, the babies weighed between 500 grams and 1 kilogram and required specialized care in Morocco. Until 1956, French schoolchildren were allowed to drink alcohol, including wine, cider, and beer, during lunch. The law changed to promote health, and today, alcohol is strictly banned in schools, except for special occasions in high schools with teacher supervision. Samuel Langhorne Clemens, better known as Mark Twain, was born shortly after Halley's Comet appeared in 1835. He predicted he would die when the comet returned. True to his prediction, he passed away on April 21, 1910, at age 74. In the mid-20th century, ship cats had unique passports featuring their paw prints. These documents included the cat's name and description, acknowledging their vital role in keeping ships rodent-free during voyages. A medieval chess piece, originally bought for £5 in 1964 and kept in a drawer for decades, sold for £735,000 in 2019. It was discovered to be a warder, similar to a rook, one of the 5 major missing pieces from the 1831 Lewis chessman hoard. The University of Bologna, founded in 1088, is the world's oldest continuously operating university. Unlike Oxford, which was established later in 1096, Bologna was the first to grant degrees and develop a structured higher education system, setting academic traditions still used today. During World War II, the Allies discovered that the Germans were using the Leaning Tower of Pisa as a lookout point. A U.S. Army sergeant, sent to confirm the presence of German troops, was so impressed by the tower's beauty that he chose not to call for an artillery attack. On April Fool's Day 1957, the BBC aired a hoax showing a family harvesting spaghetti from a spaghetti tree in Switzerland. At the time, spaghetti was unfamiliar to many in the UK, and some viewers even sought advice on growing their own trees. As part of their divorce settlement, Albert Einstein agreed to give Maliva Merrick his Nobel Prize money if he won. 2 years later, in 1921, he received the prize and fulfilled his promise by transferring the entire financial reward to her. Tanjiangxi was a pre-modern Chinese tradition where a family adopted a young girl to be raised alongside their son as his future bride, arranging their marriage from childhood. John F. Kennedy and James A. Garfield were the only U.S. presidents to leave office before turning 50. Both were tragically assassinated, cutting their presidencies and lives short. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss next week's video. Or check out the playlist on your screen for more facts. See you next time.